Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, for your key to the week, you have the Judgment card. Now this is a clearing of the decks. Whenever I see the Judgment card, I always say to people, consider it like in some way, shape or form you are culminating, sometimes many experiences in one. And the reason I call it the Blast from the Past card is because it's got a very Mercury retrograde kind of energy. There's a lot of retrograde energy in the air at the moment anyway. And what this kind of gives you is it brings something up to the surface to be looked at, to be examined, to really be cleared out in some way, shape or form, so that you can assimilate the lessons from that experience, connection, object, item, whatever, right? So that you can assimilate that. And once you do, you then shoot forward, and that's where the big change of the World card comes in. So this Judgment card is kind of infusing your entire week, saying to you, right, what are the loose ends that need to be tied up? This is asking you to get really clear on what it is that you're ready and willing to phase out now. And also it's going to ask you to pay attention to any connections, any old collaborators, an old boss, an old partner, like anything that comes up this week from the past. Pay attention to it, because there's either some sort of lesson or some sort of information about how you step forward. So, very often it is, when what they say, when you can only ever really know where you're going until you know where you've been. And this is that kind of energy for you. Now, on the 21st of this month, we have a solar eclipse in the sign of Cancer. Which is awesome, right? So if you are, especially if you're an ascendant Taurus, right? Especially if you are an ascendant Taurus, this is going to be in your true third house. This is all about your writing, speaking, communicating, how you connect with the world. This is about your local environment, the people that are there. And remember, solar eclipses are very much beginning points, right? It's a time where something starts or begins to come into fruition. It's that moment of inception, if you like. So this is really nice for you, because it could be bringing you new collaborators, new people to work with, new ways of communicating with the world. One thing that I love about an eclipse in the third house, especially a solar eclipse, this is about you finally initiating what it is that you have to share with the world. What is your story? What is it that you can do that nobody else can do, and how you can do it, and how are you now ready to share that with the wider world stage? Very exciting stuff. For your actions and options, you have the Queen of Wands. This is really interesting and very exciting to me, actually, because the Aries got the Temperance card, right, which is kind of a similar energy to Judgment, and they got the King of Wands in this position. So you have the Queen of Wands. Now for me, one thing that I always say about the Queen of Wands, yes, it's a fire sign person, very likely to be an Aries or a Sagittarius, actually, because the Judgment card is in close proximity. Now what you want to think about is this. The Queen of Pentacles would be a Leo, a Saggy or an Aries. And like I said, it's probably likely to be a Leo or a Saggy person that features for you. It can be a man or a woman, usually a woman, because it's the Queen, but you kind of get my point. But nowadays, anyone can be a queen, darling. So, take all of that out of it. Your Queen of Wands is the point where you draw the line in the sand, right? This is the week where, for your actions, what you're doing, this is about you getting really clear on what you will do, what you won't do, where that line in the sand is for you, and where it is that you are not budging. This is about you really delving into that. And this isn't going to be kind of like an intellectual thing. It's going to be something that is deep, something that's visceral, something that moves moves you to say, I'm taking a stand. And it doesn't have to be negative, you know, it doesn't have to be a challenge. This could be something where you say, you know what, before I never would have done this, but I'm going for it. I'm really just going to give it my all. Why do I say that? The Judgment card, very Plutonian sort of energy. It comes up from the deep, right? Coupled with the Queen of Wands, who is deeply attached to and entrusted with the mysteries. In the Rider-Waite deck, she has a black cat at her feet, and that is the understanding that she knows how to channel that fiery energy in order to create, but also in order to listen to or connect to that other realm. So this week, for your actions, you could be really like, there could be something that you just feel so fired up about, so excited about, so, you know, maybe even you want to give the challenge, or maybe you want to speak on something, and it could see you saying this week, you know what, I'm going for it. And with that solar eclipse there, it's just going to serve to make you even more powerful and dynamic for it. For your communications and conversations, you have the Four of Pentacles. So, you know, conversations about money, about materials, about finances come up for you this week. This could be a week where you're getting really honest with yourself about what it is that you are holding on to. This could be you really approaching some of those inner stories that you tell yourself. And that, for me, is kind of where it's at. You know, sometimes when you look back over a life path, you know, over your own life path, or when you have a certain experience, it kind of reminds you of something else, and you go, oh, okay, well, you know, last time this happened. And then when you really unpack that, you start to realize how you've been living your life through the guise of that event, or how it affected you. So this week, you could be really getting very clear with yourself and saying, wow, you know what, my communication style says that I am still acting under the influence of A, B, and C in my own personal past. That Judgment card there is saying, right, this is going to come up for you. It's going to present you with that thing from the past where you're holding on too tightly. You might even catch yourself saying something this week and you're like, damn, do you know what? I don't even believe that anymore. Where is that coming from? Well, you know, follow it back to its original thread and find out. For your money and materials, you have the Strength card, right? So very interesting. So this person, very likely to be a Leo, and the reason I say that, so even more so than the Judgment card, the Strength card is Leo, right? Is Leo ruled. And then with the Queen of Wands there, you're interacting this week with a Leo person. You could be bouncing messages, conversations, and all the rest of it back and forth, and it actually feels like a good connection. So for your money and materials, right, your Strength card, for your money and your finances, this is asking you to be brave. It's asking you to step outside of your comfort zone. It's asking you to find that inner courage, to find that inner strength, and to do something completely different. And it is something completely different. It's like going in a new vein of something, or going against what your usual sort of way of doing things. Like, where is it that you either sell yourself short? Where is it that you give too much? Where is it that you take too much? Where is it that you expect too much from other people, right? This is, you know, all stuff that could be highlighted to you this week. And by really looking at it and observing and examining it, you are only going to strengthen your position. Now, when it comes to your home environment, home looks good. There's a lot going on with the children if you have them. For some of you, if you don't have children, it looks like you're finally getting started with either a creative project or some sort of financial goal that you have been aiming towards for a while but maybe never done anything about. Health looks good this week. It does look like, for those of you that are for those of you that are interested, this could be a brilliant week for a liver detox. It could be a great week to start looking at a heart healthy diet. I'm not saying that you have to, or there's anything dire happening here, but these are the things that come up with, you know, with what's here. For those of you that I'll leave it at that. For your love and relations, you have the Six of Cups. So children, relationships with your kids this week, going to be absolutely brilliant. I see a lot of fun here, a lot of enjoyment. If you don't have children, this could be you interacting with somebody from your past, maybe somebody that you've known since childhood. So it could be that way, because remember, blast from the past, somebody coming back in. Now, for those of you that are single, the Six of Cups suggests that the person coming in makes you, what I'm hearing in my mind right now is Katy Perry's Teenage Dream. You know, somebody that just, like, when you're around them, you're like, oh, get all weird and giggly and jittery, like they make me feel like a teenager, which is really, really nice. So for those of you that are single, there could be a connection that is forged this week that could be a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment. Just go with it, right? Nothing too hot and heavy to start with. For those of you that are partnered, this looks really nice because it means that you and your partner are getting back to that honeymoon stage, maybe before you had kids, or when you were younger, when you used to enjoy yourselves multiple times of an evening. Come on, you guys know me by now. I'll always have a laugh with you. Life is serious enough, right, to always be so serious. So yeah, with that said, I hope this helps you. That is your week in a nutshell. Let me know how it shapes up for you in the comments. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.